What is up?
What up, people? It is Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. Well, not on 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, running a little bit late, but it is Chaotic Conversation. The usual suspects are in the house. That would be myself, Danny Graham, aka Comic Chat, Mr. Chris Knight, and my boy Anzo. What's going on, fellas?
What's up?
Not too much. Trying to get by, Hey, Ninja, what's going on?
Ninja's there. What up, Ninja? Yo,
He's on top of it.
How come I can't see none of the chats in StreamYard anymore?
I can't either.
Oh, okay, there it is.
Yeah, it just StreamYard's a little behind.
Takes a
and
second.
And then again, you got to pop the chats out to respond to them. If you don't just say it, sometimes it's easier just to say, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah, exactly.
Well, usually on Monday nights we have some type of countdown. I said, well, I want to try and venture off a little bit. So I was at work sitting on my desk and it hit me. A lot of times I tell the YouTubers we've spoken several times in different streams about what we would like to see. So I'm going to give everybody that's on the stream tonight an opportunity that if they were given the reins to any DC property or Marvel property, Star Wars property, The Boys, whatever comic book related, sci-fi related, Star Trek, you have the reins. Whoever's the boss said, look, this is your baby. You tell what story you want, you make the cast, what direction you want to go in, it's all on you. So each one of us, well, now since there's only three of us, you can get more time. Well, hey, Daryl, Daniel, thanks. What's good?
Damn right we told them about them Steelers.
I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be nice tonight. I'm going to really try not to put anybody in the Phantom Zone. That's what I'm going to try and do. I'm trying to do it. I can say I'm going to be successful, but that's going to be one of my main missions is not to put anybody in the Phantom Zone tonight. I'm in a good mood. Moving to my new house. It still look like a maze, but I'm happy. It only took me 50 years to buy my first one, so I'm extremely proud of myself. It's been a long 4 days though. Good God, I've been moving since Wednesday. But finally, I'm in the house. But tonight, like I said, go ahead.
You know I'm gonna have to test it, right? Michael Jordan sucks.
Oh my goodness. We'll give you that one. Like I said, I'm in a good mood. I'm not even going to answer that. I think you're trying to push my button. But anyway, like I said, tonight we're not going to do any kind of countdown. We're going to give each person on the stream an opportunity to see or to say what they would do, what they would like to see. They go into whatever detail they want to about what story they want to see, what movie they want to see, and see what goes from there. I think it's going to be a pretty good conversation. I've heard Chris's imagination in the past. I know he's going to come with something crazy, and I know Alonzo, we speak just about every day, so I know. I feel like I know what he's going to do, but I don't know.
You do, you know.
So I will start off with Anzo and see if my guess is right. I'm guessing some kind of Black Panther movie.
Ooh, no.
Okay.
No. I would do the sequels. All right? Yes, the sequel trilogies for Star Wars. And I had a whole idea for the sequel trilogy. So when this topic came up, I was like, okay, I finally get to go out and tell my story. So it would start off with the Skrull, right? Then a ship would hit down to a planet and we'd go into a building, right? Dark figure, hooded up, everything, go into a building and he wouldn't say nothing, but the other people would be like, oh yes, come, it's this way. Takes him, shows the scroll, the prophecy, right? Lightsaber pops up, kills everybody. Then it switches over to Tatooine with Luke his wife, and his 2 kids. The 2 kids are being trained by Luke to be Jedi Knights with another kid, which would be Han and Leia's son, right? The only issue,
Jason?
Would his name be Jason?
Well, that's how it is in the books. That's
I don't know.
how.
I haven't read the book.
Okay,
So.
okay. No, that's cool.
One interjection. In the book, he got 3 kids: Jason and Jana, and then Ben Solo. But go ahead with your story.
Luke has 3 kids?
No. Han Solo and Leia.
Oh, okay. No, so I would have Luke have the 2 kids, right? And I'd probably make them twins, one a male and one a female. And then Han and Leia would have 1 kid, right? So they would be doing their training. They're getting ready to go to do the trials. Okay. Then we'd skip to another scene where we show Han and Leia still running the rebels, because the Empire, even though Palpatine and Vader are dead, Empire's still around, right? Still have power, so they're still fighting the Empire. The Empire is kind of looking for like a Sith Lord, like a evil dark user, you know what I mean? But they're still ruling the galaxy. The 3 kids will go to a planet to go do their trials, and which happens to be the same planet that the prophecy was on, right? So they end up meeting up with, just to make a long story short, they end up meeting up with the Sith Lord. They have their fights or whatever. But at this time, while they're on doing their trials, we get some stormtroopers going to Tatooine to get Luke and his wife, right? So it's like a whole fleet, man, because it's Luke, right? So it's like a whole fleet. I'm talking like thousands of stormtroopers going to get Luke, right? They hit the planet. Luke is fucking them up, right? Luke is just showing his power. Because when I do this, I want to see new force powers. Like that's one of the reasons why I didn't hate some of the things in the prequel trilogies, because they had new force powers. So I'd want to see new force powers, right? So while Luke and his wife, because she's a Jedi too, just wrecking the fucking stormtroopers, whatever, another ship comes in with a bunch of fucking Sith, right? So now we're getting to the point where the Sith are actually uniting and trying to take down Luke. So the rule of 2 is done. There's no more rule of 2. The rule of 2 ended with Darth Vader and Palpatine in my story, right? But you would get that. Yeah, but you would get that in like a later version with explanations and stuff. I haven't actually done all of that stuff. It's just thoughts in my mind, right? So these Luke's wife goes and sends a signal to Han and Leia saying that they're being attacked, right? So Han and Leia send some fleets over there to kind of even up the odds. Han and Leia go there themselves, and now we have Luke, Han, and Leia together in a battle, right? So Luke's wife ends up dying, and Luke fucking loses it, right? And he's just wiping out everybody, this and that. More of the story is Luke would probably die at this point too. I know it's still the first one, and I know people don't want to do it. Hold on. Just hear me, because I want this to focus on the kids, right? So Luke would kind of die at that situation. I'm not really sure if it's then yet, but yeah, actually it would be, because it goes along with the story. Okay, so Luke would die. On the planet though, when the 3 kids meet up with the Sith, 2 of them get separated, whatever, they go on their own paths. One of them meets up with the Sith, they fight. But during the whole time on the planet, he has a feeling that something is not right, but like, they're telling him, don't worry, everything's good. Just focus on like what Qui-Gon said to Obi-Wan in Phantom Menace, where he's like, focus on the now, you know what I mean? But he's like, no, something's wrong. So anyways, yeah, exactly. Right. So now they go on their missions, whatever, they all separate, and one of them separate. I'm thinking it would be the girl or the guy, one of Luke's kids anyways, meets up with the Sith Lord. They fight. But then the Sith Lord explains to him that, you could have saved Luke, whatever. This is what's happening. You know what I mean? And ends up trying to convert him, basically saying they don't listen to you. If they would have listened to you, you guys could have flew back to the planet. You could have helped this and that. So they get into the fight, whatever. Breaks up, whatever. I don't know how it would break up, whatever. They stop fighting. Then that son flies and takes off. He's going back to Tatooine to try and help, right? So by the time he gets there, battle's over. Han and Leia get away, but he gets to the planet. It's all destroyed. Luke and his mother are dead. So now he's like, okay. When the Sith was talking to him, there's a Sith power where you could stop people from dying, but also where you could bring people back to life. So now this one is like, okay, I need to, learn the ways of the dark side of the Force or whatever, with all the hate and anger for the cousin and the sister because they didn't listen to him, couldn't save the parents, he would turn to the dark side, right? So the first one would end like that or something like that, whatever. Second one would be for them to try and convert him back, right? So they're like, I don't know. I still haven't really figured out what the second one would be. You know what I mean? Because there's a second movie, third ending, but the end would be basically to try and convert them back. But the whole moral of the story would be to, of course, bring balance to the Force. And I would also use that saying in Revenge of the Sith, where Obi-Wan asked Yoda, he's like, isn't Obi-Wan the chosen one? And Yoda's like, a prophecy misread. And the misread would be that one of Luke's kids would have to bring the balance to the Force. And for me, the only way I would say to bring balances to Force, like the way it ends, would be all the Jedi die and all the Sith die. So we'd have no Force users. But right at the end, when they go through, the monologue at the end, you would see 2 pregnant women so that you would know, like a hint that the Force, one's going to be evil, one's going to be bad. You have 1 and 1, which brings balance to the Force. So that's how it would work out. Details in between, but more or less that's how the story would go.
Okay. It ain't a bad story. I don't know if I like the part dying just yet on the first one, but it'd be pretty interesting. It sounds much better than what we saw. So you put a
Thank you,
job on.
I would have to figure out certain things into the story as well, but that would be the main plot of the story, because it's like I would try to use stuff from the prequels and the originals, right? So when Yoda tells Luke that the prophecy was misread, then that's how because it's like Luke was supposed to bring balance to the Force. So how would you bring, and then because the prophecy was misread, it wasn't Luke that brought balance to the Force, but it was Luke who's had the kids, whose kids bring the balance to the Force. And I know I've told the story to someone else because I've had the story in my mind way before the sequels even came out, right? And I told this to a girl one time, and she said that having all the Sith and all the Jedi die would be stupid. And I'm like, but why would it be stupid? If there's 0, then it's balanced. There's no one, right? 0 is a balanced number. But at the end of the day, it would recycle, because you would see the pregnant woman with 2 pregnant women with a baby, or maybe even one that has a brother, twins in there or whatever. And you would see that the cycle would always start off with 1 and 1. And then, of course, during the process, more Jedis, more Sith come around, and then you got to bring balance to the Force again. So.
Thank you, Fatal J, for getting the $5 super chat. He said, we need a Sith movie or TV show. The Jedi are boring as hell. I agree with you 1,000%. I'm not going to say they boring as hell, but I'm tired of seeing the Jedi. I want to see more of the Sith. I think they are a more interesting. What you got?
What? Oh, yeah. I don't want to be next to this guy.
First, I want to say, what up, Fatal? There's also
hey, Fatal.
There's also something I always there's something I always wanted to see, and they kind of did it in Rise of Skywalker, which surprised me, because I remember there was a game, Force Unleashed, and there's one part in that game where
like
you
that
have
lineup.
to bring down the Star Destroyer ship. So you have to use the both joysticks, right? I wanted to show how powerful that Luke's kids were. So I would have one of them trying to do it, right? And it would have been in like a hangar, right? So it's in a hangar, like a space hangar. And on the space hangar, there's like a level up top, right? And a whole bunch of stormtroopers, like it's a line of stormtroopers, and they're shooting. And the other Jedi that's there would be running fast, like you know how they have that super speed, fast and forth, deflecting all of the laser blasts, like so fast that you can't even see it blur. You just see laser blasts going back and hit, reflecting, going back while he's trying to pull down the Star Destroyer.
Yeah, that would be a hot. Paul sent a super sticker. I can't see what it says, but I appreciate the 99-cent super sticker.
What up, Paul?
And he said the Prince is here. He said it on one of the other ones. So thank you for joining us, Almighty Prince.
No problem.
What's up, man?
You know, all you gotta do is
What's
just send me the invite. I'll join. No need for the official title of Prince.
I said at the beginning of the show I was going to try not to see anybody to the Phantom Zone, but I can tell, being the fact that you're a Dallas Cowboys fan, that I'm going to have to go back on my word.
Oh my God! Yes,
Man, this is hard times, dude. You can't just keep beating us while we're down right now, man. Come
what
on.
the hell happened to your team? Huh?
I almost picked the Browns too. I almost picked the Browns, but I have faith in them doggone Cowboys because I got sucked in with Dak Prescott. He is a fucking beast when it comes to doggone fantasy. So I said, no, he gonna have 100 points again. And shit, had 70 something and still lost. So no.
Yeah.
He may statistically be better than Brady, but I'll take whatever Brady's doing and get the win any day. So
what I said was that statistically, Dak would be better than Tom Brady.
What you said?
Yes, that's what you said.
Would you rather be statistically better and lose, or statistically worse and win?
Yeah, 1 in 3.
Yeah,
1 in 3.
Yeah. Anzo, I know. I can read this.
I'm just saying. I have to go back and see what you said the record would be, but
I didn't give a record.
Yeah, I thought he said it's gonna be something like. Did he say 13-3? Did he say that?
Something like that? Yes.
So far, I got the 3 part right.
He said 13-3, but I'm gonna go back and play that.
You're right.
I got the 3 part right. So far, so good.
Yeah, so far you Nostradamus.
Okay. Oh yeah,
Mr. Knight. What would be your story?
We just intercepted it and scored another touchdown, so I'm happy. All right, so Fatal, Danny, you guys were saying enough of the Jedi, more Sith. I don't know if I would do this. I would do this kind of in conjunction with a Disney Plus series, but I would have bigger Jedi or Sith in movies. So like Darth Vader, Darth Maul would get their movie, but on Disney Plus, I'd do a series and I'd call it Sith and Jedi. And
I remember you telling me this.
Either every season, like the Mandalorian's like what, 8 episodes? An 8-episode season on one singular Sith. So think of Darth Plagueis would get his own. And I know we could do a Darth Plagueis movie, but I don't know if that's necessary. I think an intricate look at him, because we know enough about Darth Maul now. We know enough about Darth Vader that if we give him a movie about all the little holes and filling it in, that would work really well. We don't necessarily need an 8-part miniseries, for lack of a better idea, about Darth Maul and Darth Vader. A movie I think would work better for them. But like Plagueis, you could start from scratch and show where he came from, how he was how he was integral in the whole workings of the Skywalker saga. The scenes like what I think it was you, Anzo, that talked about in between. Maybe it wasn't. I don't remember right offhand who it was that brought it up, but talking about how Plagueis was still around during the prequels. They just don't show it. As Sidious is getting ready to take over, he's getting ready and contemplating killing Plagueis. and that's never shown. But in the books, it's in the books. So that we could show that in the series and stuff. That means you could bring in Sidious and some other people. So you'd have little bit parts of people we already know, but it would be a much bigger look into the world of the Sith and the Jedi. And I think it'd be better with Jedis. I understand a lot of people have a Jedi hangover and stuff, but you could do some really cool things like Qui-Gon. You could show where he came from, how he came up. I think that would be a really good one. And Obi-Wan's getting his own series. I still think it should have been a movie because we already know enough about Obi-Wan. We don't need an 8-part series, or I still don't understand all that Disney Plus is doing, but definitely a Jedi. You just call it Jedi and Sith, and you play them against each other. And like I said, if you had movies for bigger parts, or bigger roles, the only two I really think about making into a movie is something about Darth Maul and Darth Vader. I don't know if I'd do a Yoda one, and Yoda would be a kind of a question mark because with George Lucas, he really wanted to keep Yoda a mystery. So if we did something on Yoda, it would have to be more about his travels and how he came to be where he was in the Jedi Council, not so much about where he came from and what he was as a creature or whatever. It just focused on, we know it's Yoda. This is what he did, and this is how he got to where we see him in the prequels. So I think what that does is it fills in some stuff that you get from the prequels, which I think I see Star Wars as something like what the books did. If I was in charge of anything in Star Wars, I'd be like, okay, we have our base story here. Hanzo's creating you can just go away, that, right, man? Just because your team sucks, that's not my problem. But we could, Hanzo's he's redoing the sequel trilogy, so we're gonna have that fixed, and we're gonna fill in the gap between things like Return of the Jedi and his first movie. We'll fill in stuff from, let's say, the Old Republic onto the prequel, and get somebody to do the Old Republic stuff. I like the thought process of let's fill in the missing pieces and show people where these people came from, how they got to where they were, why they were doing what they were doing, those things. And like, you can't go wrong with Darth Vader. I mean, anything you do with Darth Vader, as long as you do it right, come on. At the end of Rogue One.
Mm-hmm. And one more thing that I would have done is, you guys, they brought back Palpatine, right? I would have brought him back, but as a Force ghost, where Palpatine learned how to come back as a Sith fourth ghost. That's what I would have did. Not to bring him back to life, but that would be his whole goal, right? So his goal would be to get one of the kids from Luke or Leia, because he knows that they're powerful, knowing that them with the Sith Lord can whatever and bring him back to life somehow, some way. Haven't figured that one out yet, but I definitely would have liked to have him as a Force ghost.
I do like that idea better than what we saw. Yeah, like his minions trying to grab one of the kids to be a host for the
or some shit, yeah.
Sith ghost of Palpatine. Yeah, you put more thought into that. Like, there's more there to dig into in the 3 minutes or so that we just came up with it than what they did in sequel movies. But,
it's very true.
Well,
by the way, I didn't know this was supposed to be Star Wars, like specific.
No, it's everything.
No. It's just
okay. You're just
if you were going to range whatever franchise, sci-fi, Star Wars related, Star Trek, Marvel, or DC.
Yeah, I already had mine. Yeah, it would be Gambit. And
go ahead with it.
Yeah, I tell you, it would be the lead up to the slaughter of the Morlocks. Yeah, where he has to go to Mr. Sinister because his power is too much for him to take, and Mr. Sinister gives him a little turn down by removing some of his stem. Whatever. That's not the important part. The important part, though, is what it does to Gambit as a person, as a character. leading them in, and then there's a secondary team as well so you have your fight right there, right? You have Gambit in the main team, and then you have the secondary team. Oh shit, it's a name, Terrence, and they're both there to slaughter, but then Gambit's like, but I'm not a slaughterer, mon ami, or whatever he says. Anyways, and then so he doesn't go through it. He saves the little girl or whatever, and then that's kind of like the end of it or whatever, and it can spawn into different things. Because like if there was a sequel, then it would be him and the guilt and trying to hide the fact that he was a part of it. And you can even put that into a new X-Men movie as well, where he comes on, but nobody really trusts him because he doesn't open up because he led this slaughter on the Morlocks. I think that would be far more interesting.
Have you seen there's a fan-made film out there of Gambit?
Mm-mm.
Dude, you haven't seen it? Oh, are you thinking of the same one I am?
Yeah, Danny showed it to me.
Oh, dude, that is like, what the fuck? I'm like,
they put a lot of money into that, and it's a shame it's gonna die on YouTube. It should be on the big screen somewhere.
I'm gonna look it up.
They should expand it. I'll get you the link.
Okay.
What up, parents?
Anyway, that's just my idea. I just love Gambit as a character, so I'd really like to see him done right.
Well, I think we need a Gambit movie because I really didn't like that Gambit and Wolverine.
No, he didn't even like that Gambit, but I like the actor. I think the actor is really good. John, what's his name? Oh, it's weird French Canadian name. I think one of your people.
Talking about Jean-Luc?
No, from that played Gambit in the X-Men movie.
Oh, I don't know his name. I've seen him play on some movie, but I can't think of it.
He played on.
His name is Taylor Kitsch.
That's it.
Taylor Kitsch is his name.
Yeah. You said that's a Canadian name?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound Texan to me. No.
I think you must think about Remy LeBeau. That sounds a little Canadian.
That's French. No, that's that Creole, man. That's that
Cajun.
Yeah, that kind of French. That's a cool kind of French, not that Canadian bullshit.
Oh my lord.
It's okay. I don't like the Canadian bullshit either. So. No, I don't like the Canadian French bullshit either. So
see,
I'm down for that. I can agree with that. But I'd rather live in Canada than live in the States.
It's because you ain't been to Texas.
Don't want to.
Isn't that where that crap team Cowboys are?
You know what? It's already done. Why are you bringing up old shit?
Because I would just say, how's you guys' Medicare system doing? Good?
Oh my lord. We're gonna go to the $5 super chat by Poe. Thank you, Poe, so much for it. He said Star Wars would go forward without George. I guess he meant Lucas' original version.
Vision? It could. I mean, it could. I mean, you can have little remnants of it, but you can do 100 years in the future or 100 years in the past, and you don't even have to reference his Star Wars movies.
I mean, they've done great so far.
They gotta. If it was me, I would use the source material, and I would use some of the novels. I know some are not canon, but that's what I would go with. Some of the non-canon books are awesome. So you ain't necessarily got to go page for page, but I would just get a starting point and then maybe expand from there. Anything got to be better than The Rise of Skywalker. That's my least favorite out of the 9.
And you know what though?
Out of the 9, it is the worst.
Oh yeah, it is absolutely. If they take from some of the EU books, they can do that and make it canon. So you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, they could have done something totally different, had some sort of different story, or at least a coherent story, start to finish. At least mine is missing details, but I have a start, a middle, and an end. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I would do,
I just came up with mine off like
top of your head.
I'm a kind of sort of piggyback off of Mads. I'm gonna do the X-Men, but what I want to do is I want to see Charles Xavier and his stepbrother. He turns out to be Juggernaut.
Yeah.
I want to see them growing up and see how the two. I think Juggernaut's dad married Charles's mother, if I'm not mistaken, and then I think kind of at first they kind of like each other, but then a growing resentment. What I would do is that Charles would always be better or get more attention, and that would fuel Juggernaut's hatred for him, intense hatred for him. But then he would start hitting the books and get into archaeology. That's when he goes on that expedition, find the jewel of Ceterac, whatever however it's pronounced. I can't think. Ceterac, some shit like that.
Mm-hmm. The one that gave him the Juggernaut power.
And then that would give him the Juggernaut powers. And then the whole movie would be Juggernaut just wrecking people and Charles finally figuring out who it is. And then they would kind of battle each other. And then the end credits would be, and this would be before Charles meets X-Men, before he meets Magneto. And then he goes and he meets Magneto. They become friends. And then it kind of fast forward to where they're becoming enemies. And during their friendship, Charles would tell him about his brother and tell him what he had to do. And right now, Juggernaut's in this high security prison, being held by whatever forces they develop through S.H.I.E.L.D. or whatever the case may be. And then once Magneto becomes Magneto and starts going against Charles, he'd be the first person that Magneto breaks out to help him start the Brotherhood of Evil. And then we would see Charles start recruiting the X-Men as far as Cyclops and then Iceman, that kind of stuff. That's how it would kind of go off with him recruiting.
The thing about Juggernaut though is that it's okay right now because like people I think for the most part get mutants. You know what I mean? Like cool mutants, aliens, cool, got it, no problem. We're used to this. But then you start bringing in, oh, there's magic too. Oh, okay. Oh, he's cursed. Oh, he's not a mutant. This Juggernaut guy, he was cursed by some Indiana Jones like adventure that went wrong, and he touched this emblem, and now he's, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but magic been around before any mutant, so I think that would
right. But in the in the universe that they have built thus far, I guess Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange, yeah. But is that magic? I don't know. Like, it's kind of weird. The whole
I think it would work.
Anyways.
Maybe if he was a new character we haven't heard of, I could agree with what you're saying. But Juggernaut is kind of like a household name, kind of like you hit a Hulk. So I think it would work. We never seen it. The two Juggernauts that I've seen, I wasn't really impressed. One,
I like the one at Deadpool.
I didn't.
I did too. I liked him in Deadpool too.
He didn't look right in that yellow. I want him to be in the regular brown helmet, the brown suit, with the gauntlets on his hands, big as hell, and just that's what I want to see. I don't know if they can get a human that would kind of. They did. I can't think of the guy that played the first Juggernaut. But you could tell he had on prosthetic muscle.
Oh yeah, what's his name from Snatch? Oh yeah, Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah, Juggernaut, bitch.
Yeah.
I hated that Juggernaut. I really did.
Bullet Tooth Tony, that's his name.
I can't think his real name, but
Bullet Tooth Tony.
Yeah, I would want to see. That's how I would want to see them reboot the X-Men franchise. Originally, I want to say go route of Black Panther with Storm. But Storm wasn't original. She was not original X-Men. So if they're gonna go back and be true to the comics, then I would want to see Charles and the Juggernaut as children grow up, see how they hate, well, why the Juggernaut hates him so bad, see him gets his power, and then they kind of fight. Would be the first movie. The second movie would go in the Brotherhood of Evil versus the X-Men. Introduce them. They have some big fight, and then the third would be, who knows, maybe Mr. Sinister or something. So
I definitely want to see a Mr. Sinister.
Yep.
Oh, me too, man. Me too.
I think Matthew McConaughey would be the perfect Mr. Sinister.
I could see it, but I don't know. Again, another thing.
Yeah.
I would kind of want to see a computer generated Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, yeah. I don't care if he's purple and from outer space, you know, as long as
he just needs to look like the character in the comic. That's what I want.
Yeah. I think with prosthetics and all that kind of stuff, they can and hair pieces and stuff. They can
Yeah,
get
but then you end up with Oscar Isaac's giant nose as, Apocalypse. Like,
yeah, that's what I don't want them to do. I don't want them to make that kind of mistake again. That was horrible.
Yeah. Okay, Mr. Terrence, what is your franchise and what is your idea if you had total control over making a comic book movie?
Honestly, like, I guess the first thing I would want to tackle is Dragon Ball. Like, I
Okay.
really
can just
need
take a
to,
step back.
have that right.
Yes, yes,
Because,
Lord.
I mean, like, it's just in terms of a lot of the stuff that I grew up watching. I mean, very few things I would consider on that level of badassery. So with that Dragon Ball Evolution movie, that shit was just terrible.
Tell me, which saga would you tackle first?
What, like, okay, if they tell me I got one movie, for the sake of development, because I would, tell them that I would want a 10 picture deal. But if they're not,
Wow.
if they're not,
Let's
if
say
they're
you only
not
get
convinced,
you only get a 2-picture deal.
Hold
Which
on,
sagas would you touch?
Terrence. Is 10 your favorite number? You want a 10-picture deal? You want a 10-hour stream?
well, I mean, like, 10 is reasonable for like that entire universe. But I mean, really, I would want something like 20 if I'm gonna,
Gotcha.
if I'm gonna be honest. But yeah, if I only had two, then the first one would start with Goku at the end of Dragon Ball when he's a little bit older. And I would want to have like the martial arts tournament where he faces Piccolo.
Mm.
So I would start with that, and naturally I would want the majority of the cast to be Asian, with the exception of a few characters.
Man,
Um,
fuck that. I want to see Wesley Snipes play Piccolo.
right, like Piccolo, I would want them to go with a black actor for sure. Like characters like him or Kami or Mr. Popo, characters like that. I would definitely want some more individuals of color for sure.
Is Piccolo black in the cartoon?
He's
No,
green.
green in the
Oh, he's
Martian.
green. Okay,
Man, he
gotcha.
sound like a brother though when he talk, boy.
Oh, does he?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Namekians, the English voices definitely sound very black in
Mm.
terms of how one would perceive them. So, but I would have some requirements though. I wouldn't want any of those characters to be normalized, because that was a problem with Dragon Ball Evolution, is that they had some kind of desperate attempt to get the normies on board that don't know anything about it,
Didn't
and
work.
I knew that was a mistake. It was a mistake,
Mm.
and you as a result had a bunch of average, weak-looking characters that essentially cared about all the social norms, and that was very frustrating, and it really just messed up the character. So, I would want a lot of characters to be in the condition that they're supposed to be in. So everybody will be in shape, muscular. I would want the best martial artists we can find to make sure that we have the fight choreography on point. And that first movie needs to just have as big of a budget as we can get, because the next one, I want to go into the Saiyan saga, and I want that to be just crazy as hell when you get Goku going Kaioken and fighting Vegeta. I just want, everyone to be on board by the time that first film comes out. Like, oh, this is what Dragon Ball can look like in live action. You just have to find a way to make it fit in a believable way, but not to the degree of like, what we saw with Dragon Ball Evolution. You don't want to normalize it too much. You just want to try more or less make it seem as though, okay, maybe this is happening on Earth, maybe another planet, but you can more or less, kind of believe it as being possible. And me being a martial artist, channeling within the writing, like stuff like your inner chi and mental and physical strength and stuff like that. You want to like really incorporate a lot of actual components from real life training in martial artists. So that way there's some legitimacy to what you have in that universe. But yeah, that's definitely what I want to tackle. And these characters will indeed maintain their personality. There will be no wavering for the sake of the audience. It's just like I kind of would go into the project like, look, if you don't know these characters, you're gonna learn. Like I don't have time to spoon feed the answers to the public, because then that's how we end up with Dragon Ball Evolution. Don't have time for that shit. So
Now,
the whole
Terrence,
point is that
sorry, I didn't mean to
yeah,
interrupt. I thought there was a pause I could grab, because you said something interesting about the choreography when it comes to the fighting. Now, if you would
yeah.
tell me that the dudes from the raid were gonna do it, dude, I'm on board. I don't give a shit. Dragon Ball doesn't matter. Those guys are awesome. I'd love to see everything that they do. You tell me they're on board, I'm on board. But with their style, I don't know how familiar you are with the Raid 2, and all of those movies.
I've seen them both.
Do you think their style would fit Dragon Ball Z? I don't know how to.
Well, here's the thing. Like, naturally, like the studio would be asking me that same sort of a question. Like, okay, like what about the raid, or what about this? Like, what do you want
Right.
the focus of the fighting to be? And then I would tell them that it has to vary from character to character. What I don't want is for it to be, the raid, but it looks like Dragon Ball Z. Like it needs to very much be like the anime. So in the case of like some of the more aggressive characters, you can have the fight choreographers working with that person to showcase that based upon their personality. So each fighting style will match whatever the character is. So that way they could be unique. What I don't want is for them to essentially blend together, because when you have like uh the characters in the Dragon Ball universe, they a lot of them are very serious. They train, they want like world domination, universal domination. Like to the average person, that could seem very repetitive. So you need to find different ways to make them stand apart, and one of which would be the way that they fight. And naturally, when I get down to the fighting, I want them to see that there is a certain speed when it comes to the fighting. Dan, like how when they fight, they start blurring and their hands start going fast and stuff like that. I would
Mm-hmm.
want that to be showcased. They need to see that, okay, they're moving this way, and this is what happens when they speed up. They go from the ground into the air. You have like mountains and buildings and stuff shattering, and you have essentially what they call sound waves before you actually get to see the character. So that way, the audience understands that these characters are on a specific power set. That there is no like, oh well, the military can stop them, or this man-made weapon. Like it has to be one of them to deal with one of those characters. Like it absolutely has to be that way.
So,
So
like in The Boys, like I know
well,
nothing of
here's
Dragon Ball Z, but I know like in The Boys, the only people that can fight the soups for the most part are other soups. You know what I mean?
here's the thing. It's one thing if you're talking about like fighting them and stopping them. Like um I guess in a way, like a regular human could virtually stop a soup if they have like the timing and they know their weaknesses and stuff like that. It's not going to always be practical, but there's a possibility. In terms of the Dragon Ball characters, there will be no possibility of them being stopped by any human or any sort of weapon or anything. Like
Right.
it has to very much be straightforward. So I don't want there to be any sort of discrepancies like you would get with the soups and the boys. There's always like catches and things.
Now, because this sounds a lot like another movie. By the way, I guess I would be the studio in this situation because I doubt a lot of studio heads know anything about Dragon Ball Z. I don't. Um, like another movie we did on an island, and it was combat between mortals. Well, not all mortals. There were some that weren't mortal, or were they mortal? Pretty much everybody was mortal. This sounds a lot like Mortal Kombat. That's what I'm getting to. Everyone has a different fighting style.
Well, here's the thing. Like, in order to what I would have to combat that, actually, like I would need the beginning to have like a big sci-fi kind of thing, like where we get to see the Saiyans, which is Goku's race. He's one of the main characters. Like you need to see them going around the universe and destroying people and slaughtering people, and then you would have to have their planet exploding, and then Goku being sent away. So naturally, the audience will go, "Oh, so he's like Superman," and it's like, well, sort of, like if you can get them to connect to something familiar, then they'll be a little bit more interesting because it'll seem like it's pulling from familiar and it's not completely alien,
Right.
like so they have like the connection there. But it's within the material itself that you show them that aside from that similarity, there are differences, like that you go through the journey with these characters. And it will be through their personalities that you can relate because most humans, they can't relate to them in the sense that those characters, all they do is train, all they care about is strength and stuff like that. So the average moviegoer, the families, they can't really relate to that, but what they can relate to is personalities, like what the characters intend to do, in which case they can choose sides, and that would come from the likability of the characters. People like Goku and Gohan and Krillin and so on, like you would want to have them care about those characters, which is why the writing will be just as important as any sort of fighting or action sequence. Like, because if the studio misunderstands me and we get the action down, but the writing is not good, then I believe that I would have failed the characters in a way that they failed them in Dragon Ball Evolution.
Now, is Goku the one that runs with his arms behind his
So,
back?
No.
yeah, I would definitely want to tackle
What are
that.
you talking about?
The one that runs with his arms behind his back and he's like, Goku. And they planned on doing the running like to get onto Area 51 a while back. Is that
Wait,
not a Dragon Ball Z thing?
He's asking for the Phantom Zone.
No, this is a serious question.
Goku.
Yeah, isn't that Dragon Ball Z?
wait,
Not running with his hands behind his back. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, like not behind his back, but like his arms are like straight behind him. And people do the running thing on like the is it Naruto?
Naruto, I don't watch that anime. It
Oh, is that
it does
what I'm
have
talking about?
it does have like a sort of Dragon Ball kind of
Sure.
feel with it, but just
Yeah.
ninjas.
Dan 200 says that's Naruto, whatever you pronounce. I don't watch
Yeah.
that either.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z is a superior anime, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then Danny, because I would want to get to like characters like Frieza and Cell and Majin Buu. Like I would want those characters to look creepy as hell, like to where when people see them, they're like, "What the fuck is that?" And it's like, yeah, that's one of the people they got to fight.
Yeah.
So that would be a good opportunity to utilize a mix of prosthetics with CGI.
I agree. Let's try and go to this chat and see if we can answer some questions. Everybody done. First of all, I want to say all the ideas was great, fantastic. I didn't even think about Dragon Ball Z. I want to kick myself in the ass for that because that was one of my all-time favorites. I probably would just jump straight to Super. I think Super was superior. But Dan Joy said he was set 1,000 years before the events of the primary Skywalker saga. Young Sato Sean has just witnessed the death of a former Jedi instructor due to the hands of Darth Malgus. Is this something he read, or is this something that he is making up?
Making up.
Okay.
Yeah, Danny, I want to address what you just said about Super. I think the studio would probably say that, like that they would want to jump to Super, but the only problem that I have with that is that without the emotional weight of the moments within Dragon Ball Z, Super won't matter as much because Super is mostly about the fighting. And I would want the emotional connection. Like I want the audience to see stuff like entire races getting wiped out and Goku losing his best friend to murder and stuff like that allows him to transform into the Super Saiyan. I think all those moments are important.
Yeah. In the geek world, I agree with you 1000%. But in the real world, I think people want to see that flashbang and action and kicking and stuff. Now let's think that the studio probably ain't gonna give you a 10 deal movie. So if you got to pick all the sagas, that's gonna be the best one, more bang for your buck, and it might lead you to getting a second one. Then you might be
Right.
can do
Well, I
like a
mean,
backstory.
in that sentiment, then like that still goes back to the two movie deal. You
I
know,
got you.
there's a way to write that in there and still have the more fantastical elements that the average person would be
I got
looking
you.
for. Remember how I said you want to have the balance in there. So trust me, I wouldn't forget that.
I got you.
I looked it up. It
Yeah,
was Naruto running. That's my fault.
It's okay.
I'm trying to go through.
It's all the same, man. It's all anime, bro.
Ninjoy said he would do a Plague show, and that leads after my Old Republic trilogy.
I love that. After my Old Republic trilogy.
And 200 TF said gives us a Darth Maul series, Disney Plus, one of the best Sith ever.
You guys be surprised. You may end up seeing Ninja doing some type of movie sooner or later.
Yeah.
Oh,
I've
well,
seen
I
that
take
Lego
back my
stuff,
last.
boy. That Lego stuff is amazing.
That's what he does with the Legos. Oh man.
And 200 TF says they should have used clones again in the sequel trilogy instead of kidnapping millions of young kids, then turn them into stormtroopers. I agree.
Well, they didn't use
Um,
clones in the original trilogy either, though. Those weren't clones.
He said sequel trilogy, didn't he?
Right, but
Mhm.
even in the original trilogy, they didn't.
Yeah, they
use,
weren't clones.
They weren't
No.
clones either.
Mhm.
The whole kidnapping millions of young kids. That's because Disney. You know how they love kids, and yeah. So I don't know where the hell like. I don't know how the original trilogy was able to do stormtroopers without being like, by the way, guys, these are kidnapped kids.
I don't think we knew that until we saw. Well, I guess geeks would know, but I didn't realize that until
What? That they weren't clones?
no, that they were kidnapped kids. I just thought they were like an army or something. When they turned 17, okay, maybe get drafted. They're not kidnapping and raising them from whatever.
No, that's what Finn. That's what Finn said, like in the Force Awakens, that he was
Yeah,
kidnapped
what I'm
from a
saying.
family he'll never know.
But did we know that in the original 3 movies? That's what
No,
I'm saying.
because the Empire didn't do it. The First Order are the ones that did the kidnapping.
Mhm.
Okay, all right. Do the first order if the first order did have clones, then the sequel trilogy would have been short. Okay.
No,
Wow.
because
Yeah,
First Order didn't exist.
yeah, Danny. Someone asked me like, what would I do if, uh, I had like full control over making a Star Wars movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I said honestly, I wouldn't want to make anything Star Wars. Like, unless like someone came to me with a great idea, I wouldn't want to touch it. Like that fan base is just ridiculous, and like I'm like, look, if anything smells like it's gonna be a disaster, like no, it's going in the fireplace. We're not doing it.
Yeah, you can't please everybody, man. Those fans
If they
will
tell me
eat
Star
that
Wars
shit up.
and the check clears in my bank account,
Oh, I'll make whatever piece of shit you
the,
want.
the
Yeah.
fans can
What do you
take a
want?
big
Fucking
bite of
pay
my
it.
ass.
For real.
As long as
For
that
real.
check clears
like, I
and
mean,
it's not reliant upon like quality of film or how it's
I
accepted
mean,
by
would
everyone.
I be a little perturbed if I put my heart and soul into it and they say, "Oh, that's crap"? Then I say, "Siri, show me my bank account amount of that." And it says, "Danny Graham, you have $2.5 million in your bank account. Thank you."
I feel
well, I mean,
better.
I just would, when it comes to making a film or a show, if I don't believe that I'm going to have fun making it, I'm going to stay away from it, because I feel like that will ruin the entire essence of everything. If the person running it is not in it 210%, you're going to
But
end
you
up with a
know,
piece of
the
shit
reason why
content.
the reason why I know that won't happen, Terrence, because if you were given the opportunity, I know you would do your homework and research. And I know, based on our conversations, you don't have an agenda. I don't think anybody on this panel has any so-called woke agenda. You're going to be true to the source material. You're going to use some of the EU. We're going to use some of the canon. We might throw in our own little thing, but it's going to be something that makes sense. I think some of these directors in the past are just
Phantom Zone.
I'm Abrams. I'm J.J. Abrams. So whatever I do is going to be magic.
Hey, real quick, can I respond to this Dominican Scott? I don't feel like trying to figure out what he's trying to say with that first word.
Right here?
Yeah, the one that's on screen. Listen, it's not that we're complaining and they're not in your head. No, it's because in the few minutes that we can sit around here and bullshit, we come up with better ideas than they do, and they have millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to spend on this shit. They have the best people in the industry that they can bring in to do these movies, but they just crap out shit. So that's why people complain.
And I agree with you, because the prequels were nothing that I had in my mind, but I liked them.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I
like them a lot more now than
I had no problems with the prequels.
Same here. You know what I mean?
A couple of prequels I like better than the originals. So, okay.
Oh yeah, me too.
I guess it just depends.
Me too.
Was to me.
It was good.
Because for me, like, I didn't like the prequels, but there are moments in each film that
absolutely
I thought was cool. You know?
Yeah,
I'm telling you, Star Wars has the formula to make a great movie. Get you a kick-ass space fighting scene, a little bit of story in between,
little politics,
Jedi lightsabers, a kick-ass lightsaber scene at the end, or something, some kind of fresh move, or a new move we ain't never seen before, and a lot of not this slow shit like Kylo Ren and what's her name? Ray was doing. Yeah. I can't stand that slow lightsaber fighting shit. I want that fast shit like Anakin and Obi-Wan, Darth Maul and Qui-Gon. That's the shit I want to see. If they keep that up, I'll pay my $15 gladly.
Well, I think that there can be a balance between the Yoda jumping all over the screen lightsaber fights.
I didn't mind that. I thought that was amazing because this sucker is 800 something years old. So I was like,
right, and
he ain't gonna be able to do nothing. Shit.
His whole thing was about the mind stronger than the.
I think the fight choreography is important because, like, I think about the way that I use Kali sticks, right? Like, when I'm spinning a Kali stick while I'm attacking someone, naturally I don't want to hit myself. So, like, I think it's important that you get martial artists in there for the lightsaber fights, so that way they can actually look good.
Real, yeah.
And also,
like, you get some real fights.
How hard is it to do a computer generated? Because there ain't nobody that all them fight scenes with the Emperor and when he's fighting with Dooku, that's computer generated, and they kind of like just acting like they're doing stuff. And then they gotta make the computer generated match the moves that the actual real person is doing. That's hard.
Well, the fight with Anakin and Dooku in the beginning of Revenge of the Sith is an actor, like a stunt guy or whatever, a martial artist, whatever, with Dooku's face on it.
Oh, I knew he was too old to be doing it. Christopher Lloyd was his name, wasn't it?
Yeah, Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
So all that fighting that they're doing lightsaber battles, that's someone doing it with his face.
Yeah, I knew CGI couldn't move like that.
I think probably the only lightsaber fight that I was impressed with completely, aside, if you get rid of the silly story element that was in there, like just the fight itself would be Darth Maul, because I'm like, that's Ray Park is a martial artist. Like it's one of those things, because like when I watch stuff and I see how certain like people move and stuff, I'm like, okay, that person is like, it doesn't look good to me.
Okay,
but
the fight scene between him, Darth Maul, and Obi-Wan, now that looked real to me. After he killed Qui-Gon, the fight scene between him and Obi-Wan, you could tell they practiced that. McGregor, he was into that fight.
The only thing I don't like about that part is the fucking pose. I cannot stand the
Oh, when they
pose.
did that thing like that right there.
Yeah, and then they're just pose. I like, come on. Like,
Well,
and then
I
when-
mean,
That's
look, it-
classic Ray Park though, bro.
no, I
So-
know, but I just didn't like the pose.
Terrence, I don't
Like
know if
it-
you've ever seen this guy before. The Shaw Diversity. He's like a medieval, like real big in the medieval fighting and stuff like that. Does a great fight scene autopsy about the Last Jedi throne room and from Revenge of the Sith as well. And he breaks down a lot of the choreography in both of those and several other things as well you may be
Right.
interested in.
What do you have to
And-
say about it?
This
Oh, he tore the Last Jedi throne room. He tore that thing up. And when you watch, you're like, oh shit, this is really bad. Not just
No,
the
it is.
missing hand,
It's more
They're
like
so
ballroom dancing than it is actual.
but
it's like-
what's crazy though is their timing is off. Like he even breaks
yeah.
it down. He's like, look, the guy moves his leg like this or whatever, and yeah, and they didn't even so bad.
Well,
What did-
here's the thing. Like, if the studio, like, certain things have to be made clear to me. I'm like, because I would explain to them there's a difference between real fighting and then what humans think is real fighting, what they see in the movies.
Mhm.
Real
Right.
fighting is not like that choreographed bullshit.
Mhm.
It's not like that. So, like,
But oh, go ahead.
like for the sake of the movie, you naturally would want to make it as flashy as possible, so that way the audience can be excited. Because I'm like, real fighting is not all that exciting unless you're into fighting itself. You know, they might be like, how come they're not flipping? How come they're? It's like that shit don't work in real life. So I would naturally want like a really good fight choreographer to come in there,
Hell?
and then we could just like more or less work together with how the fight scenes are going to go.
Well, that's what I was going to say. The Star Wars prequels had real fight choreography guys training them. That's why I wanted to know what he said about the Revenge of the Sith fight.
I had a whole bunch of positive things to say about it because
Absolutely.
there's so much background.
I think Ray Parks kind of came with that choreography.
In all of them. In all
Right.
of them. He did.
But for as far as like the Revenge of the Sith or whatever, they have like the behind the scenes footage and the training that those two went through to make it look that good. He even breaks it down because he's real big about the whole spinning around thing. Like he hates it. He's like, and he breaks it down though. He's like in Revenge of the Sith, but this is why it worked in this situation. This is why it was good when he did the spin thing. My favorite part though is when they're both like. Both lightsabers are just like barely missing the entire time, and then they do the force push back.
Yeah.
It's so fucking awesome because they're so close, and it tells you so much because they've trained together for so long and they've been so close that they them mimic each other to such a degree that they're both thinking the same thing, and how it just pushes them back. Like it's so great.
And
Like,
that's what I liked about that. Sorry, Chance. That's what I liked about that fight scene was right when you watch the behind the scenes. It's them. There's no CGIs. There's no speed up anything. It's them, and I'm like, that's fucking amazing. That fight scene is my favorite one.
The Witcher too. The fight in the Witcher is like legit.
Yeah,
that first
the what Geralt did in the beginning of the season.
See,
because there's like nice choreography, and then it's choreography that's like over choreographed, where it just I'm like, okay, because like when it comes
Transporter.
to like
the house scene.
it depends, because like a lot of the stuff
scene.
that he was like that scene like like it wasn't
axe?
that flashy. Like the only thing that was flashy was when he did the double kick during that, when he put the two axes on the ground. Like you wouldn't do that in a real fight because you wouldn't develop enough momentum to knock off two guys at the same time. But it looks nice though.
What are we talking about?
Transporter.
Fight choreography. So like
Jason Statham, hell boy.
When it comes to like my experience with different martial artists, when we get ready to fight, there's always like a certain kind of stance or pose that the other person will get into. You may not, like, depending on what it is, you may be able to tell what their fighting style is. Sometimes you can't, like, especially if it's something like Jeet Kune Do, for example, which is some of what I know, or if it's like an MMA type thing where it's like an even bigger mixture. But like, to me, when you're fighting, you're not necessarily getting in a pose per se. Like, it doesn't happen like where you're like, I'm gonna do a pose. It's just more of like,
Mhm.
depending on how you land and how you
Yes.
get up,
Mhm.
you'll get into a certain stance. But it's
Mhm.
like when you incorporate a lightsaber now, there's a certain way you got to move, because if you hit yourself, you lose a limb type shit.
Mhm.
So there has to be like a certain finesse that comes with it.
In my experience with martial artists, I use the Glock technique.
Hell yeah, man. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about.
we call that the act of a coward. But like,
That-
yeah, like I got
Is
you.
that
Like
Call me a coward.
is
I'll
that
be a coward
something,
standing at the end.
Danny?
now
I
now
call
Danny,
it I call it the don't give a fuck technique.
hey, Danny,
You know.
well, here's the thing. Like,
Danny.
Yeah.
Is that like is that in your martial arts class where you teach the Glock
Mhm.
technique?
That's
Mhm.
right. Hey,
well, the
go,
Glock technique is
go on
nice. But
YouTube. Go on YouTube. Punch in. Man comes at Debbie with a knife, and you will see my technique.
Hey,
well, here's the thing. Like, if we're gonna be fair, like, naturally, if you're at a distance and then the person pulls out the gun, like, I mean, I naturally wouldn't run. Like, I've had guns pulled on me and it meant nothing. Like, if you get shot, you get shot. Like, I don't believe in running away. But at the same time, depending on how close they are, they're not going to be able to pull their gun necessarily. So, like, a lot of humans, they get really comfortable with their firearms, but they still have to be able to use them and be able to stop the person.
yeah, there's
You know
a
what I
lot
mean?
of
So,
factors that go into that. Like how much, like for
absolutely.
muscle memory, you're gonna have to draw your weapon. What is it, Danny? Like 1,000 times, 2,000 times?
Shit, I'm fucking
Or
John
because
Wick when it comes to that weapon, buddy.
Oh yeah, man.
Now
Hey,
see, John Wick is different though, because okay, look,
I had that
the
Black
way
Hawk
that John
CP,
Wick
baby.
moves, but the way that John Wick moves, he's also a martial artist. So naturally, if I were to get close enough to him to knock the weapon out, he still would be able to combat me with his hands
See,
and his feet.
I'm a trigger artist.
Hey, Danny, what do you use?
Right.
I bet you use that fucking
Is it-
Raptor, don't you?
Huh?
That's why.
I bet you use that Raptor, don't you? That holster? Which one do you use? I like that Black Hawk.
And-
We use well, I don't like one of my weapons is a level 1. It ain't safe worth a damn. But boy, you can get out it fast. But the level 3, I think is what's the name of that thing? It's a 511 holster.
Yeah.
I really don't like it.
No, I didn't. I know which one you're talking about. I think I like the Black Hawk level 3. Has the hood, but like so your hand goes down naturally as a V. You have a thumb break here, and then the finger to release the trigger lock,
You get
and then it just comes right back out.
You get a flashlight mounted to it, and
Right.
you got a little hood over it that you push that down, and there's a little button on the side you push, and you got to twist it. That's level 3. But I don't care that. That's only on patrol. But
I mean, it's like it. You definitely want to carry around, I guess, some type of weapon. Like, but I mean, it's one of those things because a lot of humans, they're very comfortable with their weapons, mostly guns, right? Like, if you get that away from them or prevent them from using it, you'll see that they're very useless, and you can lay them out in like 1 second. If you know
I was
how to
also
do
a
anything.
combative instructor in the Army,
Right?
certified for it. But real
listen,
quick,
Terrence, let
This
me
is
tell
why.
you. Part of my skill set is quickly assessing people that can fuck me up. So if I quickly assess that you can fuck me up, do you think I'm gonna be bullshitting around? Be like, freeze, stop? No, it's gonna be like, pow. Okay.
First of all, like, okay, look,
So ain't gonna be none of that TV stuff. Like, you better stop,
Danny.
Terrence.
No,
you know how many
I'm not.
people
Okay, but see that's okay. You and I know each other, so this sort of situation would never happen anyway. But in terms of a stranger, what the problem with a lot of average humans, they telegraph a lot of what they do. Like, someone that knows what they're doing, they're not going to telegraph anything. You're just going to get fucked up as soon as the person gets the inkling that you're going to do something.
I telegraphed the shit out of mine because then, do you know how many times I've told someone you are outside of my getting on the ground and wrestling size? You're at my I'm just gonna draw, I'm just gonna shoot you size. I will tell you that.
That's why I love that scene in Indiana Jones where
yeah.
the dude comes out with the knife, he's like, and he just turns around and boom.
And see, and that's that movie shit. Like, you'll have scenes like that where the dude comes, he spins it behind his back, and all this silly shit. instead of just attacking. Like if he would have
I
just
agree.
chucked that shit, you know what I mean?
Of
Like
course.
there's certain things that
one
just
of
would
them.
never happen because like when you break down these movie scenes, the person's like, I would have did that and I would have did this. I'm like,
These
first of all,
brick
you would have
ones,
been
right?
laid out before you got into that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hey, let me
These-
acknowledge Poe give a 499 super chat.
I fucking told you. Okay.
He just said comment chat, Anzo, Matt, Terrence, thumbs up. Hey, appreciate it, bro.
Appreciate it, Poe.
It's mad. I'm guessing Matt's supposed to be in school.
Yeah, it's mad.
Like I.
Oh,
it's-
and
it's-
John's in
it's
the
just
chat. So
different,
what
man.
up, John? Didn't know you were there.
Like it because I remember the first day of instruction, they prepared us for the idea that most humans are cowards, so like we have to expect that we're going to be jumped. The human is going to pull out a knife or a gun. Like it's not going to be like the movies where they set it up to make you look
You've
nice
gotta be
and you get to
nuts.
do all this stuff. You know what I mean? So like you have to respond in real world situations,
Hey,
So
hold on for a
it's
minute.
just
Hold on for a
crazy.
minute. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
John and then Jordan, yo, if I could put you in the Phantom Zone now, I would. You talking about The Boys is terrible?
What? Who says this?
What shows y'all watching? Because I'm not watching.
I have
the same
no
show,
idea.
Apparently, because season 2 to me is fire.
It is.
I ain't gonna say it better than season 1,
And
but it ain't far from it.
I'm gonna push back a little bit on that. There's been a few episodes, like 2, maybe 3 episodes, where I wasn't as invested in the episode as I was in every single episode for season 1. Even in a rewatch that I did before season 2, I was still in every episode. There was 2 or 3 episodes there. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I thought this last one, outside of the first 15 minutes, I thought it was one of their better episodes. The one that just came out on this past Friday. I thought it was one of the best. Real
So I
quick though,
haven't watched it yet. I'm gonna try and watch it tonight. I heard it
and
was
the
crazy.
end.
oh, the end, cuckoo bananas.
Oh my God.
What I like about The Boys is the ending. You be like, what the hell just happened? Because when they start sleeping together, I was like, what?
Oh,
Then the last week, she told him that she was pretty much prejudiced and all this kind of crazy stuff, and she wanted him to be the leader of the new world, this new regime they're doing, and he fell for that shit. I was like, come on, Homelander.
Man, as much as I like Homelander, like, see that's one of the things that makes me bang my head on the wall. Like, I don't care how physically powerful you are if your mind is weak, because then you could be manipulated.
He's
you know?
weak. And
Weak as fuck.
not only is he weak,
Yeah, because
he
give him
is
some breast
sick
milk.
because he had that guy morph into that female. And and then one scene they had sex with the guy.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it happened off camera.
Multiple times.
I'm pretty sure, but it's
care.
a problem.
I don't care. I don't care what kind of transforming power you got. If you ain't a female at the core, that's a wrap. No,
me too.
Well,
Same
to
here.
me, but to me, I thought it was sad because I'm like, man, like you are so attached to this human that you had this other individual turn into that. Oh, like, come on, Homelander.
I'm going to make a note to ask John about the whole what he would do if it was a transforming person. But hold on, I got to tell the story, Danny, real quick. I got to tell you the story, man.
Did you just say you had to listen to John?
No, I said I need to remember this whole transforming thing and having sex with this person to ask John later on. John Storm.
Okay. Yeah,
Rob,
you
I'm
don't
sorry, Rob.
want to listen to John.
Hey, John, I meant Rob. Rob Storm. Sorry. I meant Rob. Rob. That makes more sense. No, Rob. Somebody just keeps saying John.
I've had that question, like, what would you do if somebody could change into whoever you want? The answer is simple and required no thought from me. I'm like, I don't care how much you look like the person. You're not the person. Like, I'm not gonna be weak enough and go, oh, you're actually them, and I'm gonna mentally trick myself because I'm desperate to have that person in my life again. That's bad.
Anyway, Danny, real quick, I got to tell you this, man. So I got a call one night. I'm on patrol, and it's like some security guards were found like some people they thought were like illegal immigrants or whatever. They were trying to steal copper off of a construction site, And so I get there. I don't know if Danny's even listening, but I'm gonna say it anyways. Anyway,
I'm listening.
Oh, okay. So I get there, right? And the security guard comes up and he's like, "Hey, man, just to let you know, I don't think they speak English." Oh, dude, not a problem, man. Glock's an international language. I got this. apparently he was offended by that. And yeah, I had to go talk to the captain next morning over my comments.
Wait. You're a cop or a
No.
security guard or what?
No, I was a cop a while back.
Hey, I'm
Years.
telling you, man, I've been on traffic stops, man, with Hispanics. Not saying anything bad about Hispanics. Don't have a problem with any culture, but they be like,
I'm
no
Hispanic,
English,
but
no habla English, no habla English. I pull out my cuffs. I say, oh yeah, I speak a little English. Yeah, that's what I thought.
No, listen, I had a
Oh,
DWI
man.
one time. The guy didn't speak any English. I get him in the car. I'm taking him back to the station. He's like, well, I guess it's back to Mexico I go. I'm like, hold the fuck on. You didn't speak any English. He's like, well, now what's the point?
I bet you they understand a broken leg or something. Like, yep, I bet you start speaking English when I snap your leg. Yeah.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Have you ever seen that? It's some kind of joke on YouTube, and the guy's like, "Man, look for a bunch of people. I got some work for you, man. Be here tomorrow at 9:00." And it's this white guy. He's in his pickup truck, and he goes by. It's a group of Hispanic males, and they're standing up. And he said, "Man, be here tomorrow at 10:00. I got some work for you. I pay each one of you $100." So, man, when he come the next morning, there's about 15 of them there, and they jump on his truck, and then he drives, man, about 4 or 5 miles, and he stops in front of like immigration. Man, them suckers jump out the truck. Oh no! It's messed up, man. But if you watch it, it's funny as hell. So if I can find that link, man, I'll send it to you. That shit is funny.
Listen, I got a report one night that some people jumped off of a train, like just randomly off of a train, right? So I'm down there, and all I did, I got out of my car, and there's a wood line, right? And I've reached for my flashlight, which was like toward the back at the time. And I guess they thought I was drawing out my gun or whatever, because as soon as I got my flashlight out, they come out like this. I'm like, fuck. I got to do the paperwork and shit.
So you just got to communicate with them, because with my first, because like with my first security guard job, like I was guarding 2 buildings.
Oh my god! That's a security guard. Oh my god!
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I did that for years. Like
that's ass whooping there, boy.
Oh, trust me, it almost happened 2 times. Like, because I was there when it was under construction, because there was a fire, so I was there when the construction workers were there, and then when they finished. So my job was to watch over building A, building B, and then if clients come by and they want to check out the property, let them inside, let them look around and stuff, and do my reports. But like one day, I had went around to building A, and there was a car in the parking lot, which wasn't a client. So, I went up to the car, and then I noticed that the guy he was rolling up a lot of weed. Like he had a shit ton of weed in the back of the car and everything. I was like, Jesus. So he got scared and shit. And I was just like, it's okay, human. You have 30 seconds to get off of the property. When I come back around, I don't want to see you. So he's like, oh, okay. So, I make my round, and I actually walk a little bit slow to give this human a chance, because I didn't want to have to like reach in the car and snatch him out and, do whatever, because that's what I can do, because he was violating the rules. So I come back around, the car's not there, and he's like on the street now. He's like, oh, thank you for giving me a chance. I'm like, no problem, human. Just stay off the property.
Hey,
you have a nice day. Like,
I feel like you really called him.
When Terrence saw that, this is what happened.
Daddy, no. Okay, so I'll tell you this, Danny. This was like this situation. Like, I'll tell you exactly when that happened. Like, okay, so on the street itself, in front of the 2 buildings, right, there was a car accident, Danny, and like some fucking lady ran into like a truck.
That's what Terrence said.
That's what I did.
Time's over, boy.
Danny, I'm telling you, like, okay, so look, this shit was weird, because like I come around and like the accident had already taken place, right? So this lady comes onto the property and she was like, you saw the accident, didn't you? I was like, no, ma'am, I didn't see anything. I just was doing my rounds. The trucker gets out of his truck. He's like, young man, you saw what happened. I'm like, no, I just told this human that by the time I came around, you guys were already, the accident had already happened. And they're like, yo, call your boss and get him down here, because somebody saw something. I'm like, I'm the only one here, and I didn't see the accident. So the lady tells me I'm going to come down here tomorrow with my boyfriend. And I was like, ma'am, if you bring your boyfriend down here, I'm gonna beat the fuck out of him in front of you. You just made a threat against me. And she was like, well, you're acting like you didn't see the car accident. I was like, I didn't see it. Like, I was like, you got 30 seconds to get off the property, man. Like, I didn't have time for that shit. So, like, the cops come, and it just was a crazy ass situation. But I definitely heard like Last Dragon and everything else, especially from that trucker. I thought I was gonna have to turn yellow and kick him through that fucking truck because he was getting hostile.
I can only imagine. Hey, Chris, you say you got to go. You want to tell people they can find you before you jump off, bro? Or
Yeah, sure. Hold on just a second. Let me get out of this. Okay. Yeah. Real Review 3000 is where you can find me. Sorry, I got to get my laundry done for tomorrow. I got to get to work and all that fun stuff. But yeah, the Real Review 3000. Don't forget to go sub to Chaos Central, the YouTube channel. That's real simple to get there. YouTube.chaoscentral.com. You made a link so you can go direct to it. Yeah, just go there, sub, check it out. Doing some gaming streams, some other stuff. Doing some stuff about the Masked Singer, music reviews, all the same stuff as usual. So
you're doing the Masked Singer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got last week's episode up before last week. I got the first episode up last week before the second episode, and I'll have the next one up tomorrow. Probably going to start trying to do it on the
What's the
Sunday.
guy that played Whiplash?
What was that?
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, yeah.
Mickey Rourke showed his ass. He showed his ass.
Yep.
Hey, Chris, am I going to win? Am I winning the weekly Rumble? I'm sorry. Am I going to be on the weekly Rumble?
I see. Yeah. I don't know. I'll let you know. Anzo's on for sure, and I got to get a couple other people. I got to get it ready for this week, though. Yeah, but weekly Rumble every Thursday, and so.
Let me know when you start that solo thing too.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. The solo reviews, stuff like that.
I think I sent you the thing Anzo made us.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. Sure did.
All right.
So we'll check that out. We'll do that. We got a lot of stuff coming up. So.
I bring in the viewers. So.
All right, guys.
Take care, Chris.
Off, though, okay. Right. Take it easy, guys.
See you, buddy.
Yep. Bye.
Alrighty. Anzo has other person sent the link yet? I haven't received anything.
I haven't either.
Not yet, but he said he's juicing and then he's gonna send it.
Okay. Am I on board tonight?
I'll ask him. I didn't even talk.
This is gonna be a 5-minute mark, and then we're gonna go ahead and start ending it. So, any last comments? You go around right quickly about anything. Try and keep it brief. Like the boys, don't like the boys. Ready to see. Oh, whoa. When does the Mandalorian start?
October 30th.
Yeah, there you go.
I will say this though. I just got to watch the last episode of the season finale of Walking Dead yesterday, and it was fire. It was so good.
I mean, I dropped off that show a long time ago, bro.
Yeah,
I think I saw a commercial. Didn't the black guy become a zombie?
No.
Doesn't the black guy always become a zombie?
Like
one at the very beginning, because I thought his eyes was red, like he was turning or something. I saw.
No, he had what they did in one of the episodes is they were surrounded by zombies, him and Negan, so they covered themselves with zombie guts. And
the pastor guy.
Yeah, he got sick, so he lost vision in one of his eyes.
Yeah.
I think he's talking about Morgan from Fear the Walking Dead.
No, that's Gabriel.
No. I know who Gabriel is from Walking Dead, but it's just Morgan. Like they've had some pictures online of him with red eyes.
Yeah,
implying that he might be immune to the virus or something.
Okay, Morgan is in Fear the Walking Dead, and in the last episode, he got shot and was left in a town with a bunch of zombies. So we didn't get to see what happened yet. But if there was a trailer, I didn't get to see it.
Did he have a stick?
I think he had a stick with him.
He's fine.
Well, he
Hey,
looked like he was dying, so I don't know
By
what
the way,
you're talking
he was in a
Morgan's
great
my
show.
boy, man.
What happened
No,
to
he was in a
Michonne?
great show that called Jericho. I think it's on Netflix. It had like 2, maybe 3 seasons.
I'm thinking about the
Jericho
guy who was like the black cop in Columbiana. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that's
Y'all seen
Morgan.
Okay, that's what I'm looking.
Yeah, that's Morgan.
There's a video picture of him. He got like the red eyes, like he's turning
Yeah,
into
that's
a
what I'm
zombie.
talking about.
Right.
Mhm.
Well, so he was shot and left in a town that was full of zombies.
Yeah, I just said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
So,
watched
I mean,
you
like,
watched
he-
Fear the
he's-
Walking Dead?
Fuck no,
What
man.
happened to Michonne?
Michonne, she went off to do something.
She went off to
specific
go
'cause-
find Rick.
We'll have to go
Yeah,
do
Rick
something.
has got to. He's somewhere in some kind of secret organization. Like they took
Mhm.
him away
Mhm.
in season 9. So they've been doing the whispers and like Alpha and Beta. They something else. Like
Yes. Oh, so you've been watching?
I've been watching since season 1, episode 1. I've
Okay,
seen
so
that
you
and
have you
Fear.
haven't.
Yeah.
Okay, so you never came off.
Hell no.
Well,
Me
okay.
either, bro.
Hey,
So my turn.
Alternator got a good comment.
Mm-hmm. Let's
Let's
make
just
a
make a
Batman.
Batman, boy. The world ain't ready for that.
Nope.
They can do it in animated form for the
Listen,
time.
They are not ready for a live action Batman who laughs.
Listen, here's a good show if you want a good show, right? Jack Ryan on Amazon Prime. I know you guys are watching The Boys, so you have Amazon Prime, or you do your other shit. Jack Ryan is a really, really good show. Like the
I
first
seen the
season,
movie. The movie was pretty
strong
good.
as shit. It's better than anything that was without Harrison Ford, and I think it actually because it's more modern. The big action set pieces are way better.
I thought Tom Cruise was in the Jack Ryan series. On
No,
the
it
big
was
screen.
no. You're thinking of Jack Reacher.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Jack Ryan is
Tom
from like
Cruise, yeah.
it's from like Clear and Present Danger, the Tom
I got
Clancy
you.
novels.
I got
Hunt for the Red October. But the Jack Ryan, it has a John Kalowski, whatever his name is. He's playing Jack Ryan. Does a really good job at.
The guy who's been rumored to play Mr. Fantastic, right?
Right. Yeah, with the giant nose. His nose isn't as bothersome in Jack Ryan, just to let you know. But definitely check out Jack Ryan.
It's talking about John Krasinski, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. John Krasinski. Yeah.
Kurskinsky.
Jack Ryan
Yeah,
is
so,
a really
yeah.
good show.
So
Check it
I'll
out.
tell you what. I just recently
Yeah.
changed my cable from Dish to Spectrum, and Spectrum offers us the Apple boxes.
mm,
I'm telling you what. I'm so hyped because now I can actually see on there Zack Snyder Justice League. And I'm just waiting for when that thing come out more because it's gonna be like, ding.
what is it? Apple TV?
Yeah, they sell little Apple boxes like the Roku boxes.
Yeah.
That's what they give you now. And
Okay.
so
I think I saw the trailer.
only thing I hate about it is that I like DVR. So if I miss something, I can just hit the DVR, come back, watch it at my pleasure. Everything is on demand. So if the show play.
I do have some questions. Like I'm not going to get them answered, but I was just thinking about some of the announcements that Marvel made, like in regards to the Eternals, because I'm like, no one I talk to seems to know who the hell they are, which is unfortunate.
I don't care.
I hope that they don't like mess it up with all their agenda stuff that's in there. But
Bro.
The same way,
They're gonna
the same
agenda the
way
shit out of
people. I did not have a
already
clue.
there.
I did not have a clue who the Guardians of the Galaxy was.
Mhm.
No, that's fine, but the Eternals are infinitely way more important. It's not even comparable.
I know, but I'm
Like,
saying I think the same way that they were able to bring that cosmic world building, I guess, I think they do the same thing with Eternals.
except that with but this has like way more silly agenda stuff. So I am a tad bit concerned. I mean, like, because there's so much that comes with that I wonder, because it's like, okay,
is it an upgrade from the Inhumans?
Okay, here's the thing. You have the Eternals and you have the Deviants. They both were created by the Celestials. The Eternals are very beautiful in their appearance, and they're essentially almost perfect. But the Deviants are like these grotesque, unstable genetic motherfuckers that always fight with the Eternals. But like, here's the thing though. Like, I wonder what they're gonna do if they don't just focus on the agenda, because the Celestials, they did a lot of experimentation throughout the Marvel universe. They did experimentations on the Eternals, the Deviants, the Kree, the Skrull, the Skrulls, and like they are responsible for a lot of the superpowers in the Marvel universe. So I wonder if Kevin Feige is going to sneak in there the idea that the mutants come from them. Like I thought about that really quickly. I'm like, if they're smart, they can do something like that.
I think that was their original plan before they had the rights to the X-Men, because they were trying to get around the idea of having Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver specifically in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but without them being mutants. So the whole Inhuman thing in Eternals, whatever, Black Bolt, I guess, is that one of them? I don't know. Who gives a shit?
Well, the Inhumans and the mutants are different. You're talking about
right.
through the,
no.
Yeah. So,
but what I'm saying is that they were going to make Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver and whoever else they could bring in, instead of being mutants, because they weren't allowed to say it, be Inhumans.
Yes, that is correct.
But now that
they went off into some stuff with Agents of Shield, but like it's just since they're there, with Kevin Feige, he can now control things in a way that he was not doing with the Marvel TV shows. Like now he can really
it's a different guy.
dip his hands in there. It would be unfortunate if he doesn't utilize the stuff that I thought about in a couple of seconds. Like it's all there. But if they spend 2 hours and 10 minutes on he's gay and he's Japanese, he's Indian instead of Japanese, look at me, I'm like, you're going to waste those characters, which is what I don't want.
You know what I don't need in any superhero movie, almost like for almost any of them, is a love story. I do not care.
Right.
I don't care who they love. I don't care. Unless that person is being put in a fridge like she should be, I do not care.
Right, because most of look, I'm gonna be honest, most of those comic book romances are not good. There's a few. Most of them are not that good.
But like,
just put them in the fridge.
Like Superman and Lois, that's been since day one.
Oh yeah, that's fine. But I'm just saying, for the most part, with nowadays with their agenda,
okay,
I'm just like, nah.
I didn't mind Lois and Clark. I didn't mind Reed and Sue Richards. I didn't mind Iron Man and Pepper Potts. So I mean,
Iron Man and Pepper Potts is interesting because it's the MCU. But like Reed Richards and Sue Storm, like those characters are boring to me anyway. So
I mean they are old, boring. Like I don't care about Thor and whatever her name, Natalie Portman. I don't care about those two.
Jane Foster has that.
And I don't
her
care.
Comic books, man.
I don't care if Black Widow is trying to hook up with the Hulk. I don't. What are you talking about right now? Get back to the good stuff.
I agree with you. On some of it is a little testy, but like I said, I just named 3 that I didn't mind at all because that's part of the. Yes.
The link was sent. Sorry to cut you off.
No problem.
Yeah, no, it should be Betty, but like, I'll see what they do, but it'd be unfortunate, like that if they present that in a way to glamorize the wrong things, like that, and then they're not like. I hope they mention too that Thanos himself is an Eternal as well. Like, I mean, there's so many things that you can do to where you don't want to overshadow that with your, silly narrative that they try to do in everything nowadays.
Agreed.
Just to do it.
Okay. All right, fellas, it's come to an end. It's been 1 hour and 30 minutes. Please go around, starting with Mads. Tell people they can find you. Rep the channel. Anything you want to tell us? Upcoming shows, upcoming events. Now,
you can check me over my brand channel, JMC Productions. I'm about to put up a unboxing for Kai MFS, his new book that I got off of Amazon. He's another YouTuber. He's a cool guy. He laughs like Eddie. So I'm going to probably post that tomorrow morning. And then I do other shit. You can find me on a lot of different streams. One MVP over in Shenanigans Saturday night again, because I'm amazing. So yeah, if you like amazing things, you like me, obviously, and you probably already subscribed to my channel. So that's it for me.
Okay,
I'm amazing.
Deal. Terrence, tell people they can find you at, sir.
Oh yeah, what's up, humans? It's Terrence. I'm gonna keep this simple and like, look, I have a channel. It's called T Virus Terrence, and that's where I am. And then aside from that, you can find me here and like maybe every 30,000 days on another channel. But yeah, pretty much.
Excellent. I don't know where the hell Danny went, but you guys, oh, there he is. You guys know my channel, Bigger Ford Entertainment. I'm at 187 subs, so I'm trying to get to 200. So I'd appreciate if anybody hasn't subbed, just or even go check it off because I found out that I've lost some subs and they didn't even unsub to me. So for whatever reason, they were unsubbed. So if you're unsub, just go and sub. Bigger Ford Entertainment. We got all these shows trying to entertain you guys. So much appreciated. Peace.
Hang on,
Hey.
wait, go back to that comment. I saw my name. Like, all right, like you in terms of the comment sections of Robert or anyone else, you're always gonna find me in comment sections before you find me on panels and stuff. Just because I watch a lot of different things. So
Mhm.
Good deal. I am Danny, Comment Chat, aka Comment Chat. You can find me on a bunch of channels every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me here at the Khaotic Conversation tomorrow night, Tuesday, same time. You can find me on Anzo's channel, The Chaos List. Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can find me on Chris's channel, which is The Rule of Three. We're trying to come up with a date with Equilibrium. I apologize. It's been several weeks now. I apologize to the guys. But now that I move and things are getting back to a little bit of normalcy, then I'm sure we're going to come up with a date. Then on Saturdays at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch is one now.
Oh, no, go ahead.
At 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can catch us on Square One, where we talk sports. NFL is very entertaining now. COVID-19 seems to be striking again, so we don't know what's going to bring to the season. Also, each night, 4 nights out the week, you can see me on Storms Live, which is usually Monday, Tuesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. Occasionally, I hop on Anzo's show on Wednesdays, Off Your Chest.
Mhm.
And second,
Which we gotta get back to doing. I haven't done that in a while either.
But
So
look
I'm
down
gonna try
in
to
the
get back on
description.
that one.
Yeah. Look back in the description box. I have everyone's here set mad. I didn't know he was coming tonight, but I will make sure from now on I will have it. Please subscribe to everyone's channel here. It only takes 1 second to hit the sub button, people. So help us out. We appreciate everyone coming and supporting the channel. I appreciate each and every super chat I get. Thank you all. Again, go Cowboys.
Yep, go Cowboys. That's right.
Yeah. Okay. Go
We're
straight
coming
to hell.
back.
What I'm saying. But thank y'all. Have a good night. We will
Peace.
see
Chaotic conversations.
next
No, we're not
time,
doing it.
people. No, we're not there yet.
No.
Now we off.
All right.